It's not just a fear of failure that trips us up, but a fear of success. And today we're going to have an incredible conversation about the real reasons you're sabotaging your dreams. Now, we will dive into the depths of our subconscious mind, explore the hidden beliefs, the fears, the conditioning that can hold us back from achieving our fullest potential. Plus, we'll uncover the ways in which our emotional needs are intricately connected to our subconscious patterns and how your unmet needs are actually triggering the self-sabotaging patterns that accompany a fear of success. So much is on offer today. Let's get started. Welcome to the Bliss Movement, a podcast for big-hearted, driven women daring to be great who know that this starts by pouring love into themselves first. I'm Dr. Fee. I'm passionate about helping women to stop tuning out and burning out, but to tune within, reconnect with your heart, feel lit up, follow your bliss, and live life on your terms. So, get ready to expand your life beyond what you thought was possible when it comes to healing, wealth, love, purpose, and leadership. Have you ever found yourself on the brink of achieving something big, your dreams, only to be then held back by this nagging sense of doubt? Or found that once you've hit a milestone or you've accomplished your goal, you got there, something uncanny happens to throw a spanner in the works? This is such a common experience for many, and the fear of success is a real obstacle that can trip you up, especially when you desire to live your soul-aligned life. We come up against these invisible barriers, which time and time again, we realize we're the source of. Yeah, we're tripping ourselves up. Now, recently, a gorgeous client of mine faced this very challenge. After experiencing and overcoming so many significant obstacles, major life changes, she was presented with this most incredible opportunity to embark on this new chapter in her life, like starting a business that aligned perfectly with her passions, like everything that she wants. Her vision is to help others connect with their bodies through Pilates, yoga, hot cold therapy, meditation. Everything seemed to be falling into place seamlessly, right? She's secured the perfect venue. She's found the necessary equipment locally, had the financial breathing room, the space to make it happen. Yet in our coaching session, like amidst all of this, the biggest block emerged. And it's like, can it really be this good? Like, this is everything I want. Like, I don't know. It feels uncomfortable. Where we get what we want, it can feel really uncomfortable. And the truth is, we have a tendency to normalize living in survival mode. Like, what we know is hard work and effort. We glorify the hustle, right? It's often we get so caught up living life based on what we should do, other people's expectations. And we live life based on someone else's playbook time and time again. Ugh. So when things start to go our way, we start to feel better. We experience a whole new level of success, wealth, happiness, joy. We get our health back, our new love and intimacy and depth of love and intimacy in our marriage, our partnerships, all of a sudden a whole new set of obstacles arise. And like I said, often we are the source of them. Okay, so this phenomenon is known as the upper limit problem, which is a beautiful concept that's explained by Gay Hendricks in his book, The Big Leap. I recommend you check it out. And the reason is that our subconscious mind needs a moment to catch up when we reach new levels of health, success, joy, love, fulfillment. When we claim our dreams, it's like it takes a moment for us to stabilize there. Now, this lag can manifest as self-sabotage, like we subconsciously try to go back to the old status quo, our old baseline of suffering and pain and discomfort and emotional distress, and avoid venturing or staying in uncharted territory. And like this is seen time and time again with people who win like gold lotto and millions of dollars within years. most people will have gone back to their baseline state of lack and scarcity after spending and wasting all of their money. Now, early on in my journey as a doctor, as a healer, like I observed this pattern in both myself, to be completely honest, in myself, but also my patients, especially as a transformative coach where I'm getting results really quickly with my clients. You know, undoubtedly within days, weeks, a month of working with me, people would reach a whole new level of health and joy and be like, oh my God, I don't know, I feel really uneasy. This is fantastic. I'm really happy. But you can see that, again, we're coming up against a whole new level, a whole new set of obstacles that we're going to have to navigate. Because if we don't, then if I don't support you as a mentor at that next level of success, health, joy, love, intimacy, you will suddenly start to sabotage it, because this is the upper limit issue. You are like, you know, my clients will find something else to fixate on, ruminate about it, you know, suffer about something that may or may not happen, focus on the wrong things. Because again, it's about the subconscious mind feeling really comfortable at an old, wanting to keep things at the old status quo, come back to this old baseline that we've been living life in burnout and overwhelm and anxiety. You know, and so self-sabotaging what was working, like, you know, now binging alcohol, falling off the wagon with their rhythms, not doing the self-care, not pouring love into themselves first, you know, even though they've been feeling the best they ever have. It's exactly what they want. They get it, but they don't really get it, because the root cause of this self-sabotage lies beyond the mind. It lies in deeper issues of self-worth and self-love, and we may subconsciously believe that we don't deserve the success or happiness we're experiencing, and this leads us to undermine and totally jeopardize our own progress. And I've done this. I've done this with my business. When I've reached new levels of success, I'll then be like, oh, something shiny over there, squirrel. I've done it with my health. Oh, this is working. I'm getting results. Oh, let's stop taking my supplements. Let's bring sugar back into my diet. Let's, you know, whatever. My relationships. Oh gosh, things are so great. Okay, let me create a little bit of drama, you know. Let me poke the bear. The bear is my husband. So let's dive deeper into understanding why we sabotage our own success, health, happiness, our dreams. And to do this, we really need to explore the intricate workings of our mind. If you've been in my world long enough, you'll understand that the key process for the first part of my Burnout to Bliss process, this is the SAGE strategy. It's waking up to the true nature of our mind. And I dive a lot into science in this, but science is sexy. If you do it with me and you learn with me, you'll understand. It's fantastic to look at, because when we understand how things work, we're more likely then to engage in the necessary tools and strategies that can support us, okay? And we get more out of the things that we are using because we understand why. Now, I teach a lot around these two components. There's our conscious mind. This encompasses our reasoning, rational, and logical thinking mind. Okay, this is who we think we are, but we're not, because something's in there witnessing it. So that's a conversation for another time. But, you know, our conscious mind, it's only active 5% of the time. It's like the tip of the iceberg. It's visible above the surface. It's what we're conscious of, but it's actually representing only a very small portion of the whole. And this is why you might hear something, learn something. You're listening to my podcast episodes, or you feel like do a training with me, you get lit up, and perhaps you go to a weekend workshop, or you read a book and you're like inspired to change your life, and then you fall back into old habits within hours, days or weeks, and then we're like, oh, disappointed, and we're ashamed, and we create all this meaning, and we go, oh my God, I'm pathetic, I'm broken, look, I'm so weak, I'm not committed, blah 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 blah. And it's not true, because simply based on science and understanding the intricate workings of our mind, you've only really addressed the conscious mind. You have new thoughts, but you haven't actually addressed our subconscious mind, which is where it's the force, it's the driving force behind your actions and behaviors. it resides beneath the surface. It's the subconscious mind. So you might think tomorrow is going to be different and I'm going to make promises, because willpower resides where? In the conscious mind. This is why when you're tired, you're stressed out, you're out of routine, we go back into the old unhealthy sabotage patterns, don't we? Oh, I don't want to go to the gym. Oh, I know I said I'd do that, but like I'm too tired. Or, oh my God, you find yourself in the cupboard just binge eating Tim Tams, Even though you know better, your willpower's gone out the window when you're tired or stressed out. Hello, that's life. Because real change has to occur on the level of the subconscious mind. This is the vast, hidden part of the iceberg, beneath the surface. It's the powerful undercurrent. Yeah, I call it the undercurrent. It's the residue, it's the undercurrent that shapes our experiences, it influences our decisions. It's what shapes the lens that we look through. And you'll hear me talk about this again and again and again, because we distort our reality. Our event is neutral until we give it meaning. That's the subconscious mind. It very much influences what we can discern and what we experience in life. And, this is proven in many, many different ways and many different studies and angles. If we look at the memories that we hold, what we know is only 50% are true and accurate. We make up so many memories. And what's in our subconscious mind is often a lot of distortion. It's often a meaning that we've given an experience or an event that happened when we were a child, quite commonly, right? So within the depth of our subconscious mind resides our deepest desires. That's where it resides. But also our past experiences, unresolved stress, trauma, and the coping mechanisms that happen, which is a part of trauma, our beliefs, our attitude. And these elements, they are the foundation of our inner world, the foundation of our experience, of our reality. They are what play the most significant role in how we perceive and interact with our external world. It's that important. Now, our subconscious mind is constantly listening, absorbing information, even when we're not actively aware of it. And it's why a lot of people try and, there's a lot of great hacks that you can do in order to rewire the subconscious mind, because the brain and the state of the brain, there are states where on early waking and just before you go to sleep, where the subconscious mind is most receptive. And this is why it's really why I teach doing your rhythms the first time as soon as you wake up and just before you go to bed, because we're working with our physiology, we're working with our mind to change and work with and influence the subconscious mind. So it's why you might find yourself tuning in, and this is this process of awakening, of really bringing the unconscious conscious, where you can oh my gosh, you have an awareness of how you think, the lens that you look through, and you realize, oh my gosh, there's things that I believe about myself which is so distorted and wrong. It's a judgment and a criticism. And the reason is that from our childhood, we have taken on meaning from the people we observe, from our family of origin, from the environment, from the culture. All of this is stored within our subconscious mind, and it shapes the patterns of thought and action. Even if consciously you don't have that particular bias, you may discover that there's a part of you that still believes that rubbish. There's still unconscious bias within you that then sabotages your decisions and destroys your ability to step up and express yourself, because you're terrified about what other people will think, or you were shut down to have a voice as a child. Children don't have an opinion. Get over in that corner and be quiet. Well, that part of you, if it's still residing in the subconscious mind, will be influencing, impulsing you, and really limiting the decisions you make and how you can really stand up and speak for yourself. So it really holds you back from achieving your fullest potential. So it's really important, let me say it again, even though you're consciously desiring success and happiness, and this is the path I'm heading towards, is go me, yeah, your subconscious programming, it may actually be working against you. And it could be creating obstacles and roadblocks and that uncanny, where things just a series of things going against you. because there may be really strong limiting beliefs that are playing out right now. And it's your opportunity to recognize this and resolve it and utilize your mind as a tool, as an instrument to support you in life, to help you to accomplish next levels of success. And really, that is what is in our control and our responsibility, but it takes a little bit. And now in my next episode, I'm going to take you through that, okay? And I'm really excited to share that with you. But right now, I want us to really understand more about the fear of success and how the subconscious mind is linked to that. But it is important to understand it's not fixed. We can bring awareness to our conditioning, our beliefs, our patterns, and we can then start to reprogram our subconscious. And it's about alignment with what it is that we want, what's most important with us, the behaviors and the actions and that we desire to take, inspired action. Now, this requires us to understand more about our emotional needs. Of course, I'm going to bring it up because you know how much I love to bang on about our emotional needs. And the reason is I'm so passionate. It's the second part of our Burnout to Bliss process. It's that important. Like I had a call with a new client the other day, and she's a therapist. And it's very common that as a healer, I'm a healer for other healers. And, a lot of therapists, doctors, psychologists like to work with me. They have the knowledge and it's all up here. And there's a difference between knowing something and understanding it, or really being tapped into your heart, or an embodiment of it. And then identifying our emotional needs and really exploring the felt sense is that freaking important. It's so important, even for people who are healers. Okay. And so if you're in that category, or you feel called to that, then I invite you to apply to join Expanding Bliss, because this is a key foundational piece of our Burnout to Bliss process. So when our emotional needs for validation, trust, fun, love, security, physical nourishment, certainty, comfort, when these aren't met, it will trigger like the subconscious mind, the reactions that manifest as self-sacrificing, self-sabotaging behaviors. For example, a lack of validation. If you don't know how to give yourself validation, approval, significance, celebration, well done, and you're constantly tying this to other people or results or accomplishments, things out there, then you might actually believe that you don't deserve success. Okay? You may not know how to actually celebrate. You might find that you spiral into procrastination, or you just get up to a certain point and you hit a ceiling. You don't then get the promotions because of this faulty sense of self, validation, worthiness. Okay? Lack of trust. It might make it difficult for you to embrace opportunities fully. But the same is true when you do know how to meet your emotional needs, because your emotional nature wins every single time, for better or worse. And what we want to do is work with our emotional nature. So when you meet your emotional needs in a really healthy, kind way, like this is so powerful. You get to do this for yourself, okay? Your subconscious mind will become your best friend, the most incredible, powerful ally in achieving success. Feeling secure, feeling safe, feeling loved, feeling connected. It allows you to take risks, speak up, express yourself, pursue your passions, believe in yourself, be unwavering, have unstoppable conviction and belief in what you stand for. And when you meet your emotional needs in this way, it's how the self-sabotage patterns, like a fear of success, just melts away. Often we focus on fixing it here, but actually if you think about, it's about giving ourselves something else so that our unhealthy patterns of getting our emotional needs being met, because that's why we sabotage, is because there's an emotional payoff for it, right? We're working the subconscious mind here. Then that just melts away because there's no need for it. We're getting our needs met in another way. I hope that makes sense, because it's a game changer. Now, there are countless causes of fear of success. I've experienced them all. All of them have been at play in my life one way or another. Low self-worth. Deep down, you may believe that you're just not worthy of the good things coming your way. Oh my gosh, I hear you. It can stem from past experiences. I've spoken about my childhood traumas, and that creates this narrative, this really negative narrative, self talk that just becomes our identity, but it's not fixed. Fear of change. This is the biggest thing that will often paralyze us to take a leap or to embrace what we want, because what we want often resides in the unknown. Success brings change, does it not? New levels of success, growth, right? And so we often fear the devil we know. We fear losing what is comfortable, our identity, our relationships. We might have a fear of outshining another person. I've had this, even though it just didn't make sense. I was scared that, like, what if I get judged or ridiculed or criticized, or my sister doesn't like me for it? It's crazy. She would be cheering me on no matter what, but it's not, you know, our emotional nature is not logical. None of this is logical. It's highly irrational. Once you just accept that, then you can work with it. Imposter syndrome, feeling like a fraud, like, oh my gosh, this is something that I help my clients with all of the time. And just to see it as a green light, because you are being called into something bigger. So it's not a bad thing, imposter syndrome or feeling like a fraud. A lot of my clients find themselves in these most incredible opportunities. Like, oh my God, this is everything I've ever dreamt about, Dr. Fee. Holy smokes. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So there's a sense of not belonging. You're feeling like a fraud, right? Yes. I'm like, it's good. It's all good. What do you mean? See it as a green light. Okay. Because as you lean into it, on the other side, you're going to discover so much more about yourself. But if you don't actually lean into it and you try and avoid it, or you get caught in it, then yeah, that fear of being found out, you're not going to take that leap, are you? It's terrifying. Oh my gosh, I don't want that. And that ties into fear of responsibility. This is a big one, especially for my clients who have experienced burnout. They're terrified of having burnout again. And this, if you don't manage that, you will miss opportunities. Yeah. Your fear that you can't handle the heat, the pressure. I won't be able to live up to new standards or expectations with this job or this business or my dreams. And so we hold back. Oh, we miss out. We miss out. And what is really incredible about the Burnout to Bliss process is that this equips you to lead yourself through it. Having the tools, the Bliss toolbox, and be able to support yourself. It's not that you're not going to have these fear of responsibilities and feeling like a fraud and imposter. It's about what you do with it. Yeah. There's so much past conditioning, old stories, beliefs that have their roots in our childhood. And even our family's family and our grandparents, we look at our beliefs around money. Oh my gosh, a lot of that is going to be tied to the depression that just gets passed down generation to generation, right? But if we grew up in an environment where success was viewed negatively, like, oh, you're too big for yourself, like, oh, he's got a big head, tall poppy syndrome, where we're really taught to play small and not shine, keep yourself small, then you're going to struggle with humility, which is your ability to embrace your goodness. And you're going to struggle with embracing more and your own achievements. And then, fear of failure is linked with fear of success, because my gosh, we might worry that if I embrace this next level of wealth, success, joy, health, happiness, it's going to be so much harder when I fail. It's going to be so much further to fall, right? And so we protect ourselves from a potential disappointment. So let me just feel really disappointed now because I can't handle it if I was to have it, and then I lose it. So there's so much there, and I'm laughing because we need to have an understanding of the true nature of our mind. It can tell us so many misbeliefs and mistruths, and it can honestly tell us rubbish. Sometimes it will be our friend, other times it's going to be our worst critic. It's going to be the very thing that throws us under the bus. With a thought, we can get completely knocked, and with another thought, we can soar to new heights. That's the nature of our mind. It's very fickle. But we get to tend to our mind like it's the garden. But what we have to understand is often the process, we've got to go beyond the belief. If we can understand that there are noxious weeds growing, and if we just keep trying to trim them back, and never really pull it out by the roots, they just grow back. And that's where most people get to when they're looking at overcoming burnout or working with other coaches, or, talking therapy to a point as well, and, other modalities. It's like you got to go and really recognize that often these have big, deep roots that are, deep down, and we got to pull it out. And that exists beyond the mind. So in the felt sense, in the soul level, and the energetics. So there's so many underlying reasons for self-sabotage, fear of success, right? And by bringing an awareness to the subconscious beliefs and fears, we then can go through a process where we challenge them and reframe them on a mindset level, where we really transform how we feel, the energy that we hold, the consciousness that we hold, so that we constantly grow and evolve and shift how we think, feel, do, be in life. And that transformation requires a big dose of courage, patience, compassion. It's why I weave a lot of that into the Burnout to Bliss process. And Expanding Bliss incorporate a lot of group work. You're more likely to stay accountable to this work and your dreams if you are surrounded by a community. It's just, again, science proves that. And it's also why I incorporate one-on-ones and the deeper healing work. And I can bring a depth of transformative, like a process to our one-on-ones, because of the nature of my journey and the different modalities that I weave together. Because we want, it takes something extra to really face our fears and really challenge our limiting beliefs and transform ourselves, so that life then changes out there. And so I really do recommend the Burnout to Bliss process for this, and be sure to apply to join Expanding Bliss if this is resonating with you, and you book a call to speak to me or my team. And I'm just going to leave you with this. Remember, your subconscious mind is not fixed. It's not unchangeable. It's not like this is your fate and you're going to have to live with like this forever and ever. No. With conscious effort and practice, knowing what you need to focus on, you've got a limited amount of time and energy, attention, support, resources. And so the framework, a Burnout to Bliss process, is so important, because then you know what to focus on, and what this step then takes you to this step and this step. And also having a mentor who knows when you're going to trip yourself up, because I can assure you, after supporting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beautiful women who are smart and intelligent, high achievers, there are points where you trip yourself up. It's not just about getting out of burnout. It's about stabilizing in new levels of success, joy, and happiness and health, and then more. It's this beautiful opportunity for an ever-expanding blissful life. And this is the reason I support my clients for 12 months now. It used to be 8 weeks. Now it's 12 months. And it's because it's this process of growth and transformation. And as you heal and align your subconscious mind, it takes repetition and consistency, but it's so worthwhile, because you're opening yourself up to a whole new experience and limitless possibilities, because then your mind becomes the most powerful ally, like what we were talking about before. And it's there waiting to be discovered, sweetheart. So lean in and really make this decision for yourself to understand it, work with it, so that you can really break free of these self-sabotage patterns, the fear of success, jeopardizing what you've worked hard for, and so that you can really embrace a new level of fulfillment right now. And I want that for you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Stay tuned for part 2, where I'm going to step you through overcoming the fear of success. And there's 5 steps that I'm going to share with you to help you to stop sabotaging your dreams. Big love. It has been so beautiful spending this time with you. If you found today's episode inspiring or helpful, please subscribe, give us a good review, and share the love. I invite you to be a part of the Bliss movement. Join our Bliss Sisterhood, or apply to join my Expanding Bliss program. The links are in my bio, and I cannot wait to be doing live with you soon. Stay tuned for the next episode, where I'll be sharing more training, stories, strategies, and solutions to guide you towards your bliss.